Okay, so today we're going to go over how to adjust the pop-up pressure on the KA100 carburetor, and also to check it. So what you'll need is your carburetor. You'll need a pop-off gauge. You may need an 8mm socket, but you will certainly need a flathead and a Torx T20 bit. You could use a flathead on these, but I find that the Torx bit is much easier to use. If you're going to replace the gaskets, I'll also show you what that kit looks like. There's two different versions. There's one that has just the gaskets. There's another version that has the gaskets along with the Fulcrum arm and the jet and the copper washer under the jet. So I've already taken it off here. I just used the 5mm wrench or 5mm Allen wrench to take off the two bolts that hold the carburetor onto here. And I've actually already tested the pop-off pressure. It was a little bit high. It was somewhere around 10.5, 10 1/4, 10.5, and was holding around 8. So I think it's a little bit high, and I'll insert a clip to show you what that test looked like. But we're gonna go ahead and show you how to take it apart and adjust that pop-off from here. So to take it apart, if you're replacing everything, all of the gaskets, I would take off the top fuel adapter and the strainer underneath it. There's really no need for me since I'm not going to be replacing the gaskets. So I'll go ahead and have my T20 on, and I'll get to zipping these off. And I like to make sure I keep everything in order. So I have the body here. There's the strainer here, but I'm not going to take that off. There's no need. You can already see the gasket underneath. Put my screws here. And keep going. So if you're replacing the gaskets, this black one is an important one to keep your eye on. If this is, let's see if I can separate these here. Sometimes they can get a little sticky. Seems like with how sticky it was, maybe I should replace it. But these can get not quite as flexible or too flexible, and can start causing you carb problems. So I recommend, if you're going into a big event, definitely put a new gasket kit in your carb. It's only like 15 or 18 bucks. If you're not having any issues and you're just doing some club races, then no need to replace it. But definitely something to keep an eye on if you're starting to have carb issues. So now you can see the inside of the carb. This is the Fulcrum arm, and you can see there's an inlet needle and the seat is down in there. So your pop-off is basically when this will pop down. So I can do the pop-off pressure test in a different way and you might actually see it happen. All right, so it happens very fast. Even the slow-mo video, you can barely tell what's happening. So now we're gonna get to adjusting it. So there's two ways you can bend the fulcrum arm itself. So there's a spring underneath here, and once I take it apart, you'll see that. This is pretty much level with the carb body here. You can bend it up or down to increase, or actually to decrease or increase the pop-off pressure. You can imagine that if you bend it down, that you will be increasing the spring force at the bottom, and so your pop-off pressure will go up. The other way, you can either change the spring that's underneath here. They make, I think the standard is 37 grams. They also make a 41 or 42 and a 31. So they make heavier and lighter springs. Heavier spring will be higher pop-off. But you can also take it out and just kind of squeeze the spring a little bit if you want to lower your pop-off pressure a bit. So that's what I'm going to try first before I go to bending this if I need to. Okay, so to get to the spring, we're going to remove this screw here, and that'll allow us to get to that whole assembly. Kind of like to hold my finger over it, just like that. That way it doesn't go flying. It's really easy to lose any of these parts. So there's the screw. Okay, so I'm going to take, you can see the fulcrum arm, and this pin just slides right out. Don't worry, don't lose it, but that slides right out really easily. And the seat also does. Let me get it in focus here. The seat, you can also just slide that right out. So again, make sure you don't lose them. Now, you could bend these tabs ever so slightly, these two at the front, but I'm going to try just squeezing the spring. So the spring is still in the carb here. I'm going to take that out. I'm just going to try to squeeze it a few times and see, hopefully not lose it, but see if that will work to lower the pop-off. All right, so I've squeezed it a few times, and now I'm just gonna put it back together and go from there. So for the reassembly, I like to put the spring down first and then put this whole assembly straight over it, hold it with my finger, and then put the screw in. I'll show you here. Okay, so that is back in, and a note that screw does not need superhuman torque, and you just want to make sure that it's moving freely like it was before. All right, so I'm actually going to assemble the rest of it together, and I'll test pop-off that way, since that's how it's run. And make sure to put some type of liquid in there, WD-40, something first. That way you can get an actual pop-off reading. back together. So now we will test Popoff and see where we're at. See if we need to disassemble it to bend that fulcrum arm a little bit, but we'll see. Maybe squeezing the spring was enough. Make sure this is tight. All right. So that popped off around 9.5, holding at 8. Let's see if it does it again. Yep. So just that little squeeze was enough. But eventually when you're doing this, you'll run out of liquid in there, and then you can see it's not really an accurate measurement anymore. So make sure you pay attention the first time or two. So you can see I have the carb back on the motor, and it's all sealed up. So one note I did want to make is carbs are very finicky to having any sort of dirt in them. You know, it's a small motor, 100 cc, so the jets are small, the holes in the jets are very small. If you have any little bit of debris in there, it can really mess up your carburation. So make sure to take it apart, keep it clean frequently. If you have an ultrasonic cleaner, I would use that. I don't, but even so, I make sure to use carb cleaner, take it all apart, clean it, and you'll be in good shape. So I hope that helps. Remember that lower pop-off is richer, higher pop-off is leaner.